My name is Jenny Barkin. I am a Director of Membership and Volunteering with the Toronto Charter Chapter. Welcome to AGM 2023. Before we start, and we're going to talk about happiness today, right? And you all, it's a Thursday, right? It's a snowstorm. We all shoveled for last 2 days. We got tired. So let's put ourselves in the mind that can help us to get happy. So I would ask you online group and in-person group if you can stand up. Move your chair a little bit further so you have like one step ahead of you. You don't have to stand up, but it's just easier to make this exercise. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If not, keep it open. And let's all take a deep, deep breath in. Counting till 4. 2, 3, 4, and deep exhale, counting till 6. One more. 2, 3, 4, and every worry goes out. Now, pay attention to your feet. This is your roots. This is where you came from to this world. Those roots are strong and holding you up at any time in wind and sun. Now, look at your spine. This is your dignity. This helps you to hold your head high at any time, good or bad. Open your eyes a little bit like you're holding a big, big balloon. This is your community, your family, your friends, your church, everyone who supports you no matter what. You can put your heads down. And now imagine that you have a big, heavy cape behind you. It's warm and heavy on your shoulders. This is your knowledge and your experience. No one ever can take it away from you, and it will always be with you and helping you to move forward. And now imagine the space ahead of you. This room, this town, this country, space ahead of you is endless. This is your potential. And what I'm asking you now, take a little step forward. Congratulations, you just stepped into your potential. Open your eyes. Welcome to the room. Thank you very much. Feeling better, I hope? Open to the happiness? Yes. Okay, wonderful. So our agenda today, we will start with Alicia Saint, our president, telling us how we did in the last year. We will have a fantastic speaker, Dr. Sonia Lubomirsky, talking about how to be happy. We would have a few votes to count, and we have a couple of surprises at the end. So please let me introduce Alicia, who will start with very important thing, land acknowledgement.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jenny, for getting us off to such a wonderful start. I also wanted to say hello to everyone online. I can't see you now, but hello to everyone online. So happy that you're all here with us, whether virtually or in person. So we'll start with the land acknowledgement, and I will read that off for us. So we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabeg, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Wendat peoples. These territories are the enduring home to many First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples from across Turtle Island. We also acknowledge that we are hosted on unceded land covered by Treaty 13, held by the Mississaugas of the Credit. Tukatu is subject to the Dish with One Spoon Covenant, which bound the Anishinaabeg, Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee people to peacefully share and protect the lands of the Great Lakes. In the spirit of this covenant, we are grateful to be able to meet, create, and grow together in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect on this ancestral land. It's important for us to start our meetings, both here today and if you've joined us online, with this acknowledgement. And the reason that we do this is that we want to affirm our commitment and responsibility to improving the relationships between the nations, and also to improve our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. So I ask all of you to take a moment of reflection on how this land acknowledgement reflects for you and for what you do in this world together. So let's take a moment. Okay, thank you. So let's kick it off. I have my co-host Shahab is online, and he is going to be controlling the slides. So Shahab, I'm ready when you're ready. Welcome. Here we are, our first ever hybrid event. So we've never done this before. And so we said, why not? I know I personally was feeling this real draw and need to be in a room full of coaches, okay? It's a little different, at least it is for me, than being in a room full of my family or friends. So I really, really appreciate all of you that showed up, both virtually and in person. So thank you for joining us. This is an exciting event. We get to celebrate all of the amazing work that not only this community does, the coaches that are in this room, that are online do, and the impact that coaching has on our community, our work, our world, right? So this is a fantastic time for us to get together and celebrate. The other thing I just want to share with you, we've got a lot to share. We've done some really good stuff. And I'm going to have to talk really fast to get it all in. But we want to hear from you. One of the things that we really have been talking a lot about and focusing in on, and you're going to hear more about this year, is about the sense of inclusivity and belonging. And that starts with hearing from all of you. We want to share, and then we want to hear back. So in order for us to do that tonight, given that we have a jam-packed agenda, we've got 3 ways that we'd love you to give us feedback. If you're in the room, you've got some pen and paper. If there's something that's really striking you, you have a question about, you have a comment about, jot it down. We'll collect them at the end of the night. Those of you online, you can use the chat box. Questions in there, comments in there. We'll save the chat. And then the third way is at the end, after Dr. Sonia speaks, we're going to stick around for a little bit. So if there's some Q&A we'd like to do, if there's some questions, you could ask it then. Okay? The main message here is if you've got questions, comments, or thoughts, let us know in one of those 3 ways. What I will commit to you is next week, I will send out an email with answers to any of the questions that we get if they don't get addressed here tonight live. Okay? Sound like a deal? Awesome. All right. Shahab, my man. All right. So yes, Jenny just talked about that. This is what we're going to go through today. We have 5 motions that have to be voted on. This is all part of our governance and our bylaws. And so we need your vote. Kim, do we have quorum yet? So quorum is 100. We needed 130. So we needed 10% of our community to vote in order to pass these motions. That's not to say that you, any of you in the room or virtually that haven't voted, we want to hear from you too. But we had to at least meet quorum. So super excited. You're all the bonus votes now. So vote. If you've already voted by proxy online, please don't vote again. But if you haven't, you can either do it in person here or online, and Shahab will launch polls. Okay. So let's jump into our first vote. Drum roll. Okay. Motion 1 is to adopt the agenda as circulated for tonight's meeting. And so let me just get all my words properly. So I request a seconder to this motion. Jenny is my seconder. Shahab, you're supposed to watch for hands raised online, so you can just shout out if you see something. We've got a seconder. Okay. Now, are there any questions, concerns about the agenda as circulated? No. Okay. Anyone who hasn't voted, could you please vote by show of hands here in the room? And Shahab, you're going to launch a poll?
Alicia, we
Yeah.
have a slight problem here. When I first logged in, I could see the polls. I could launch the polls, but right now the system is saying you're logged in from another device. Your polling section is inactive. Maybe Spencer has access to polls and maybe he
Shahab, it appears I can launch them. Do you want me to?
Oh, there you go.
Can you launch it?
Yeah, let me try.
There it is. Woohoo! All right. Vote yes, no, or abstain. In the room?
Yes.
Yes. Kim, are you count? Kim's going to count. Yes. Okay. She's got the vote. Any no's? Any abstains? Okay. We can pass the motion. Woo! Okay. Number 2. You got a full 100% yes on the online. Okay. Motion 2 is to approve the ICF Toronto 2022 AGM minutes as circulated. Yes. Who? Oh, wait. Hold on.
Second.
Who wants a seconder? Okay, Dorothy. Dorothy is the seconder. Okay. Any questions? All right. So we're ready to vote. Those of us in the room, if you could raise your hand if it's a yes. Okay. No. And abstain.
And we're at about 50% on the poll, so continue to vote if you can.
Okay, I think we're good. All right, that motion is carried. Woohoo! All right, next. Thank you everyone for voting. All right, so tonight, this is what we're going to, this is sort of the story that we want to tell. So ICF Global's mission is empowering the world through coaching. So that is our guide in everything that we do. Here in ICF Toronto, in our community, we talk about what does that mean for us? It's about creating a thriving community that creates impact and shapes marketplace awareness of professional coaching in the ICF. We support our members through learning and networking for the advancement of both the coaches and the profession. And our values are inclusion, collaboration, fun, and transformation. So that's what guides the directors, the board of directors every day in all of our decisions, okay? And so we're going to share what we've done around those things, and then you guys can tell us if we've been doing a good job or not so good, or keep going. All right, so Shahab. So we are 1,295 members strong. Woo! And we have 275 new members this year alone. How many new members do we have right here in the room? Awesome. And I can't see online, but Shahab? A few.
I'm watching for hands raised and no raised hand yet here.
No raised hands. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay, there's one. Rhonda Woodisy, I'm hoping. Okay, and Aliusha, and Suzanne, and Tahmina. Oh, so many hands up. Welcome, welcome everybody. Feel included in the conversation.
Woohoo! People are getting excited. All right. Okay. So, 1,295 members strong. 68% of our community is credentialed coaches, and 32% are non-credentialed at this point. This is very much in line. You'll see on the left there with Global, because what happens is a lot of new members join as they're starting on their credentialing path. So this is very common. And we love everyone, so everyone's welcome, whether you have a credential, working towards one, or just want to hang out with a whole bunch of cool coaches. Any of those reasons are good for us. All right, so next one. Oh, and our growth is almost 11% this year. So, and we've grown in every single month. So it's steady growth, and it's amazing. We know we're a thriving community also as we look at our breakout of those 1,295 members. So we have the MCC community 2%, PCC community 30%, ACC 35%, and non-credential 33%. So the other piece we're just showing you here is who's left and who's retained. This is an important thing for us to watch because it also helps us to know if we are a thriving community. So if we start to see a lot of people are leaving, then we're, our senses are up. It's very common to have fluidity, so coming in and coming out, people move, people change chapters, all of that is fine and that's okay. And so you can see here that 83% of our community retained and 17% left, but as I just met Adrienne, she said she's been in and out of this chapter for about 20 years. So you might be part of the 17% this year, or maybe the 83 this year. We don't know. Yeah. Okay, great. Carry on, Chap. And we wanted to celebrate, just in this year alone, we've had 158 people get their ACCs, 92 get their PCCs, and 6 get their MCCs. And so we just want to celebrate all of those people that got their credential or advanced their credential or renewed their credential, because we know, as you can see, it's a lot of work. And it really talks about the significance of being a certified professional coach. We take that very seriously, and we put in a lot of effort and training in order to uphold the standards that we represent as an ICF coach. So congratulations to everyone. We also are a thriving community because of Jenny Barkin and her crew that work really, really hard to make sure that all of those new members that we get, every one of them is welcomed. Every one of them is welcomed with a phone call, with a new member handbook,
New member kit.
new member kit and handbook. And like I said, a personal phone call, making sure that there's conversation. Thank you for joining. How can we help you? And then work together to make sure that they get involved in whatever way makes sense for them. So thank you to Jenny and your team for all the work that you do. Next. Oh, is someone crying? They're so moved by our numbers. Okay. We also shape market awareness and create impact in the community. And a couple of ways we do that is through our International Coaching Week. And so we had a great program across 4 platforms, as you can see. We had 16 coaches that participated. We had 56 coaching hours that we provided pro bono out into the community across hospitality, healthcare, newcomers, and charities. So that was amazing work. And also with our ICF Toronto Annual Awards, which, little plug, are happening right now, closes January 31st. If you're thinking of anyone that we should celebrate and recognize, please get your nomination in. And so we have a very robust program, Lifetime Achievement. I saw Adria Trohill is online. Adria, again, congratulations as our last year, our Lifetime Achievement Award. Adria has also been one of the founding members of ICF Toronto, and she's still a chapter member. So maybe there's a little yeah. And also the inaugural winner was Karen Wright, who's also recognized as our Lifetime Achievement Award. So who will it be this year? We don't know. All right, so that's another way that we celebrate and recognize the impact that we have in our communities. Go ahead, Chuck. We also shape market awareness and create impact in the organizations in our community. And so these were the winning organizations from last year, from our PRISM Award, which is celebrating coaching both in for-profit and not-for-profit companies. So I'm just looking for, so the winning coaches that were associated were Deb Coleman, Vicki Thompson, Catherine Bean, Nancy McLeod, and Michelle Chambers. So again, thank you for all you do to help shape the coaching in organizations. And again, who might it be this year? We'll have to wait and see. All right. And great news around programming and learning. So this is one of the things that we really value, that we provide for our members. Shahab and Kirk have done an outstanding, amazing, incredible, fantastic job. And the numbers speak for themselves. Yes, we got to clap. They've done 25 events this year. That's up 64% versus last year. 19 virtual, and we did six networking events, including 2 in personal, which Jenny again and her team organized, and many of you here in the room I recognize from being at those in-persons. We issued almost 1,500 CCEUs. That's up 65% versus last year. So we all need CCEUs to be accredited, right, or to keep our credentials. So you can start right here in the chapter. And when we took a survey from our community last year, you told us that this is one of the most important things that we need to focus in on. And I think you might say we did a good job. You asked us to provide programming around all of these different topics across the right. And so we did, including DEI. Okay, cool. And there's more to come, isn't there, Shahab and Kirk? We can hardly wait. We also support each other through networking and being in community. And so we do that virtually. And again, we had a couple of socials. And this tonight is another great example of us coming together as a community. So I'm very excited that you're all here. Go ahead, Shahab. And lastly, we talk about living into our values. And so as you saw from the first, one of the first slides, one of our values is inclusion. And for us, inclusion really meant stepping into the diversity, equity, inclusion work. That was actually started by our volunteer team, 2 years ago now, who worked diligently for a year and provided a strategy document for us that we've been using. We appointed 2 DEI leads. They're online, Terry Donahue and Lisa McVicker. And they've really been helping us shape our thinking, our strategy, our approach to really start to embed, and this is the key word for us, embed diversity, equity, inclusion into our chapter, into our board work, into our community. And a lot more work to do. And these just show some of the areas that we've been focusing in on over the last year, with more to come. And we use the ball of yarn because that is what DEI work is. It's intermingled, it's codependent, it's interdependent, and you can pull any one of those strings and you can start to unravel. So I want to thank Terry and Lisa for really leading us through this work, and I'm really excited about what this year now, will bring around this area. So, how am I doing for time?
Perfect. No directors.
Perfect. Okay, I got a perfect. Wow. Okay, yeah, now we're just going to take a couple of minutes because I don't want to do all the talking and I want you to meet some of our directors. So I'm going to invite a few of them to speak for a couple of minutes. So I am going to turn it over to Terry and Lisa to give us a little bit of an update or some sneak peeks on diversity, equity, inclusion. So over to you, Lisa and Terry.
Thank you. So the way Terry and I are double barreling this is I'm going to tell you where we've been over the last year, or more precisely over the last 9 months, because Terry and I came along about May, and we realized really quickly that it was overwhelming and that we had to start somewhere. So we were lucky that in this year, Global released their DEI survey. They started to release documents around DEI education, but also the fact that they had some guidelines. And so Terry and I were able to start there. But what we really discovered is it has to be organic at the same time, meaning if something comes up, we shouldn't just let it be. So the nomination process, for example, we started fiddling with everything and started asking our questions and essentially just questioning the status quo. And I have to say that the board has come some ways. One of the recommendations from the DEI committee previously was around board education. How can we make decisions on DEI if we don't understand, embed, and live them? So that was one of the prominent things we did and start this year. We've had some very riveting conversations, uncomfortable conversations, but that's where we needed to go. And so what we're going to do next year, or this year, I should say, is really, I'll pass it over to Terry, and you can start with how we started our next committee.
Yes, well, thank you, Lisa. I agree with everything you said. So where we are, where we're going. Well, we have started our committee and they are amazing. They're so awesome. They're so dedicated and they are working so hard for us. We are outlining and building our strategy from what the EDI committee had all their hard work and what Global has plans and, just to align with them. And we really are working hard to kind of engage the whole chapter. Like, it's so good to see familiar faces. It's so good that everyone can get together and, know who other people and build that community and feel that belonging. I'm just wondering, where are the other 1,195 people, right? So it's kind of like, so we are going to do a survey. We're working on getting a survey out because we want to know who are these other people. We want to know what's going on. We want to know how can we serve you. So if you see the survey come out, please jump on it and tell us what it is that you need, because we want to engage the whole chapter, because we are a big family here and Toronto pretty much rocks, and we're so successful. So it's just like we're working really hard. And we want to hear your feedback. So please do that. And building the strategy, there's going to be a lot of different programs, the policies, some will be rewritten, some are okay. And there's a lot of work to do. And if anyone wants to help out or volunteer anytime, you can please email me at terry@icftoronto.com. And, we can all work together to move forward. It's going to be a lot of kinks, but we're doing a great job. We're really doing a great job. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see where we go. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Terry and Lisa, for your great work. So today is an opportunity for all of us to meet some of our board directors, those who proudly put in the time, energy, and effort to serve all of us at ICF Toronto. So let's move on to Kirk, the co-director of programming. Kirk?
Okay, Shahab, thank you. And I offered to jump in because Shahab is hosting, but Shahab and I co-direct the programming aspect, as most of you know. So great to see familiar faces tonight. And we're just really excited to be here with you again. What can I say? You saw the slide, and we're just so proud of bringing at least 2 events per month to you this past year with lots of wonderful local speakers, some who are with us here tonight. Great to see you, and speakers from around the globe. And, we're committed to continue to bring this programming to you throughout this year ahead and so on. We did base a lot of our programming on what you asked for in our last survey, and some of you may know we haven't done that one yet. Lisa and Terry just spoke to a survey coming up, which will include asking you for feedback on what else you'd like to see. But in the meantime...
You're on mute, Kirk.
Was I muted the whole time or just now?
No, just now.
How did that happen? I didn't touch it. Okay, hands off. Anyway, I was about to invite all of you to, if you have a topic, a talk that you would like to share that would be of value to our coaches here, please reach out to Shahab and I and let us know, because we always are looking for varied and new speakers to join us. And we will be at some point later in the year doing a survey to ask this more officially as well. You saw the slide with numbers, you saw the slide with the topics. I'm not going to repeat all of that. One of the things that we learned this year is that we really want to better understand what each of our coaches want. And when I say each, our new coaches, our more seasoned coaches, whether you have a credential or not, what is it that you would like for your development? So let us know, send us an email. And Shahab, what am I forgetting?
You were spot on. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thanks, everybody. I'll keep it short.
Kirk. It's a pleasure to collaborate with you on this programming portfolio. Moving on to Andrea.
Hi, everybody. Absolute pleasure to be here. And I'm going to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to absolutely everybody who has done a couple of things. First of all, who coached last year. And second of all, who put up their hand to coach in the programs that we've got coming this year. We have a few opportunities. We have International Coaching Week, which is in May of this year. We have our official International Coach Federation coaching programs called Ignite and Connect. Ignite is mostly where we coach for a registered charity. Connect is where we coach for a not-for-profit or a charity. So many of you have put your hands up, and we've had 3 delays from the group that we are going to be coaching for. It is going to begin in April of this year. And interestingly, it was coaching that delayed this. They've been so successful in the other areas of coaching that they had to delay a little bit. So that is still very much on track. And for those of you who have already put your hand up, fantastic, thank you. And for those of you who are curious, I will be having some additional meetings to explain what we are going to be doing. And we also have, like Kirk said, and like Shahab said, we do have the opportunity if you would like to initiate something. Maybe there's a group that you've got. I had one group come to me to say, we'd love to do team coaching. I'm going to throw it out there. If you know a team who would like to be coached, we have people who would like to coach that team. So I'm super open, more people to step forward. We will formalize our committee in a couple of weeks with fabulous people who've already put their hands up, and looking for more, please. Also looking for people who've got ideas, as well as people who have some time to coach. And for those of you who are not credentialed, we always hold that opportunity for you to be the coach of the coaches, so you can gain some hours there as well. So please look out for some more communication that's going to come your way. Please reach out to me directly as well, and really looking forward to a really successful year where we can give back to the not-for-profits in our world, as well as us gaining greater experience, and thirdly, for all of us to collaborate together. And once again, everything that we do is open to absolutely everybody who is in this organization. Thank you again. Take care.
Thank you so much, Andrea. We have other board members on the call as well. You can see Leslie Shank, our past president, Jane Graydon, and others who will not be speaking today because we have a full agenda. Thank you all for your service. I pass the mic back to Alicia.
No, to me. You forgot me.
Sorry, to Jenny.
I can't let it happen. Sorry. So, when I took this role of Director of Membership and Volunteering almost 2 years ago, my idea was to create home away from home for all the coaches in the area. And we're trying to work on that. And even if you see my name under the emails, it's not just me. I have a committee of 3 other people. Donna Needs, Lori Kaiser, and Kinda Adra, who are helping me all the step of the way. So round of applause to them. Thank you very much. At the end of 2021, we got our first in-year survey, and we received almost 500 answers. It's unheard of. We never heard so many answers from you guys. Thank you so much. So 2022 was the year of implementations, and we listened and we tried to create initiatives that are fitting into what you asked for. Now, what I learned from 2022 is do not be afraid to fail, because not all our initiatives went as we planned, but we learned from this, and I promise we're going to do better. And for the plans for 2023, I don't think that I would change many things. I would still heavily rely on my committee and each and every one of you to bring your ideas, feedback, and comments to us so we can just keep serving you guys and really create the home away from home from each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Well, that was fun. I'm so glad that I didn't have to do all the talking. Thank you to all the board members that spoke. It's a nice way for all of us to meet one another and be in community together. Shahab, now we get to the financial part. Who likes financials? All right, so the motion is to accept the 2021 and 2022 financial statements and to reappoint MNP LLP as our chartered accountants. Before I do that, before we launch the poll, I got to show them the financials so they know what they're approving. So let me just quickly share that here. So the first thing to note is this is last year. So our fiscal year is March, right, to the end of February. And so our bylaws say that we have to have all of you, our community, review and approve our financials, even though it's almost a year ago. So let me just quickly show you. This is the comparison from 2021 to 2022. So our revenue was up, driven by, as we just talked about, all of the growth we've seen in our membership, also activity fees. So if any of you want to join in on our programming and haven't paid for your activity fee, it's a really economical way to do that. So that's what generates our revenue, and then you get to our expenses. You can see that all there. What drove up our board expenses was we adopted Microsoft 365, and we did it in order to try and streamline and become more efficient. I can tell you it's been a rocky road, and I can tell you we're not all the way there in maximizing the efficiencies. So we still have some more work to do. So there's an investment there, and the payback is coming. Professional fees, that again, what happened there was our accountant fees went up. Like what didn't go up, right? And also there was a way that they were billing us where we actually had to take $2,000 from the previous year and account for it. So that's why you saw that fee go up a lot. And then the net gain and loss from the event, that's from our conference. So for those of you that remember, in 2021, what we did was we were about to have a live conference, and literally 5 days before we were going to have the conference, COVID hit. So what happened was all these wonderful people, maybe many of you here in the room and online, had already paid for it. So you just carried that over. We had a 3-week, oh my gosh, event, which was absolutely fantastic, just about killed us all, but we made it, and it generated some really great revenue. And then this year we learned, we did a week. No, we did 3 days. A week. It was a week. But it wasn't 3 weeks. And so we didn't generate as much revenue. So that's what that difference is. But at the end of the day, we're still in a very healthy, good situation as far as a thriving community. So we ended up with $31,000 of revenue. And year over year, our financial position, again, very healthy. And what we would say is this is a contingency, we call this our contingency fund. We are required to carry a minimum of 2 to 3 years of expenses. COVID showed us why that's really important. And so you can see, again, we're in a good place. Okay? All right, so now we can vote. So you've already put the poll up. 7, okay, quick, I know, they gotta vote. So the motion to accept the financial statements as reviewed by the MNP. Who would like to second? Dorothy, thank you. Dorothy seconding. Okay. Is there any questions? Who would like to vote yes? You approve? Okay. Who is voting no? Who's abstaining? Anyone? Okay. We can pass the motion. I see online. We have 74% say yes. Okay. The motion is carried. Second motion is to reappoint MNP LLP as our chartered accountants. Who would like to second that motion? Okay, Jenny. And any questions? Sorry, I'm not even looking up. Okay. And everyone yes, voting yes. Sorry, I'm feeling very rushed. Okay. Lots of hands. Got that going. All right. And so
I see, Alicia, sorry, I see Louise Taylor has her hand up. Louise, did you want to share something? Or
Yeah, I was just curious about whether we saw any significant change or increase in the fee or remuneration structure for the auditors for the upcoming year.
Yes, 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 they charge us a lot more money. Is that what the question was? Is that your question, Louise?
Yeah, what's the change?
They charged us, I don't know the exact percentage increase, but it ended up being 6,000 and something versus I think previous year was like 4,000. And there was a carryover of $2,000 charge from the previous year. Answer your questions?
So the fee for the upcoming fiscal year is set at around 6,000.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. That does.
Okay, great.
Alicia, another question
Yeah.
in the chat. And by the way, we have our guest speaker here with us. Marilyn is asking, board expenses and professional fees seem to have gone up quite a bit. Any comments on this?
Yeah, so the board expense was driven by Microsoft 365, which costs, we have a monthly cost of $250 in order to pay the licensing fee. And what was the other one? Board expenses and the other one was the accounting. Yeah, professional fees was the accounting. Okay. All right. So we got to vote in our new board. Okay. So here we go. Our new board. Thank you for your service. We have Jane Graydon, who is past president right now, who's been serving on the board for 7 years. She was obviously the past president. She's stepping off. She's fulfilled her term. Jatin is leaving the board. He was heading up some of our IT and a bit of our marketing. And Lisa McVicker, that you just heard, is stepping off as well. Thank you all for your service. These are the directors that are in midterm and will be staying on the board. And next, here's who we need to vote for. So we've got Andy Martinello, who's here in the house. Hello, everybody. And we have Lily Shalev-Sean, who's in the house. Hello. And Abby could not, I don't think she could join us. Is she online? Is Abby online? Okay. So those are the newest nominees that we're hoping you vote for tonight. And then, as you can see, myself, Hassan, Jenny, and Kirk are up for re-election. So let's move to the motion. So it's to accept the board slate as proposed, as you just saw. So who would like to second? Oh, Mina. Okay, Mina's going to second. And, okay, any questions? No. All right. And if everyone would like to vote, who would like to vote yes? Yes to the new board? Yes. Are you questioning what? Any no's? Any abstains? How we do? Oh, we got 94% on the online. Awesome. Okay, the motion has carried. Woohoo! We have a new board. Woohoo! And I'm hoping that everything we showed you, all the work that we've done, isn't scaring any of you off. Not to worry. And just a massive big thank you to all of you, to the entire community, to the board, to all our volunteers, everybody that makes this all happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our speakers, I see Michelle Chambers, thank you. We couldn't do it without you, and this experience and this community is thriving because of all of you. We're all in this together, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! How are we doing? Pretty good. 7:05. Okay, I'm over to you, Shahab.